Okay, there's kids in the town. There's kids in the town. We got kids. Where'd they come from? All right, let's talk about it. What's up, people? Welcome back to Black Geek Cool. This is episode 6 of Wandavision. All new Halloween Spooktacular. That's the name of the episode. Great episode name. It's a Halloween special episode. You know, every sitcom does a Halloween episode. Before we get into this, we will be spoiling. So if you haven't watched the episode, please go watch the episode and then come back and listen to the review. Secondly, go ahead and hit that like button or hit 5 stars if you're listening to the audio version. Like button if you're listening to it on YouTube. Greatly helps us out here at Black Geek Cool. Also, go give feedback if you can. That's another way to help us out. Secondly, you might hear my daughter. I think this is third. You might hear my daughter in the background because she's playing while I'm recording this. So, hear a little kid. It goes good with this episode because there's a whole bunch of kids in this episode. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into this episode, guys. So we start out with a Malcolm in the Middle opening. One of my favorite shows to watch. Malcolm in the Middle was really good. The weird thing about this opening is Agatha is in the opening. I don't remember her being in any of the other openings. I could have just be not remembering that, but she's in it. Also, Pietro, aka X-Men Pietro, is in there. So he's got it, and it says as Pietro Maximoff himself. So that was really interesting. But then they start off the episode with, I believe it's Tommy. I think it's Tommy that's talking. He's talking directly to the camera, and then Billy talks to the camera just like Malcolm does, and they're talking about their Uncle Pietro who's come in, and they're saying it's kind of weird that he's here, but they kind of like it as well. They're saying their mom's acting a little weird since he came, so it's kind of understandable. But no, Billy started talking first. I just remembered. And Billy's also wearing his Wiccan costume from the comic books. Really cool. We get a lot of comic book accurate costumes in this episode, which I love. Really awesome. But Pietro, a.k.a. who's playing Francis, kinda, he's on the couch, sleeping. They're like, don't wake him up. And he wakes up. He speeds off. So he's got his speed. He's showing off his speed with the kids, and he's like, oh yeah, you guys are probably pretty fun kids to hang around. And he's like, yeah, we're cool. At least Tommy's cool. Billy, not so much. He's kind of chill. But it's really good. It makes me upset that they won't do any black sitcoms. Yeah, I'm throwing it out there. Where's the black sitcom? They could have did a variation of Fresh Prince. They could have did a variation of Family Matters. They could have done that. Come on, if you're going to go through all these sitcoms, hit me with something. Hit me with a black one. Come on, let's go. I'm just putting it out there. That's just how I feel. But still was really good. Then we get Wanda come downstairs in her Scarlet Witch outfit. My daughter's going crazy over there. In her Scarlet Witch costume. And they make it relatable, or at least they don't say it's a Scarlet Witch costume. They say it's a Sokovian, what is it? Oh, I forgot what they call it. A Sokovian mind reader or gypsy or something like that. I forgot what it's called. I know it's a certain, like, it's a I can't think of the word. But he was like, oh, that's really not cool. Billy said cool, and he immediately said, oh, not cool, because he's trying to be cool like his uncle. Of course, that's just how kids are. But then he's like, so what do you guys got planned? And they're like, oh, we're gonna go out trick-or-treating, all this stuff. And then Vision comes downstairs. Oh no, before that, Wanda was talking to Pietro, and they talk about a flashback back when they were in Sokovia trick-or-treating, and they're dressed, Pietro's dressed as Nick Fury, and Wanda's dressed as Black Widow, I believe. Really crazy, because those characters don't even exist, or at least known about to them anyway, at that time. So that's really weird, but funny. Very funny. And then Vision comes downstairs, and Pietro says, "What are you? Let me guess, a traffic light." He's like, "Well, this is the only thing I had upstairs to wear, so I had to put it on." And he's kind of like nudging at Wanda, like, "I know you doing this. Why you doing this?" But then he covers it up by saying, "Oh dear, I know you love Mexican wrestlers." He was being a little shade, throwing a lot of shade, trying to let her know, like, "Hey, I know something's not right here. I'm trying to figure this out, but I'm trying to stay cool with you. I'm not trying to blow the spot up right now, but I'm trying to figure out what's going on." So he is real, like, dropping dimes kind of extent, but she's acting normal. She's like, "Oh, maybe he doesn't know." And then the kids are like, "I'm really excited to go trick-or-treating." And Vision says, "Oh, I can't go." And she's like, "Why? That wasn't the plan." And he was like, "What do you mean? What plan? Was I supposed to go? Or was I supposed to do that?" She was like, "No, you do what you want." He's like, "Yeah, I got to go do neighborhood watch." And she's like, "Oh, I didn't know they were doing," like, "Yes, Halloween's a great time for criminals and stuff." And she's like, "Oh, but the kids need a male role model to go with them." Of course, Pietro steps in and is like, "I can take the kids, no problem. I'm here, a great role model." And he's like, "There it goes." And he's like, "All right, I'm off, guys." And he looks at Wanda and he's like, "All right, Wanda." He says, what did he say? He said, "Wanda, be on your best behavior," or something like that. He really leans into it. It's like, "You need to be good. Stop doing bad stuff." And she kind of like rubs it off. But then Pietro's like, "All right, let's get going, guys." And Wanda's like, "Well, you two don't have a costume," because him and Billy didn't have a costume. So Pietro grabs Billy. No, not Billy. Tommy. Grabs Tommy, zooms off, and they come back kind of in Quicksilver's outfit, kind of, but with kind of devil horns with their hair, spike their hair up. So it's I don't know if that's an Easter egg for Mephisto or the devil in this being behind everything. I don't know. I still think Wanda's behind it, but I think somebody's behind her doing it, like nudging her along. That's what I think. That's my theory right now. But yeah, so Haywood is he gets the android or the drone that they sent in from last episode. It still has some of Wanda's power on it, and he's like, "Go get that analyzed immediately." Monica's like, "Why did you do that? Why did you send the drone, weaponize the drone? We were trying to talk to her. Wanda kind of started this, and Wanda is the end of this. She's the solution to getting this. She's not a terrorist. She's not doing this for malice intent. Why are you doing that?" And Haywood's like, "Look, you don't know what you're doing. You don't have the stomach for this. It's a good thing your mom's dead, because you wouldn't be able to handle this, and I hate for her to see you this way." And I was like, "My dude, she about to put hands on you. You better calm down." But he also talked about how they weren't there after the blip and how hard it was to keep the lights on. And he told her, "Don't be a coward. Don't try to use that to deal with your being a coward. This is not about that." But he's like, "Look, I don't even care. You guys need to get off my base," and kicked them out. And he kicked out Monica, Jimmy Woo, and Darcy Lawson, or Dr. Darcy, sorry. They kicked them all out. But as they were leaving, Monica and Jimmy went to work. They beat the dudes up that was taking them out, hid them in some crate, and then they put on shields, hoodies and stuff, and they trying to get away on their own. I'm pretty sure they're not going to go on too far, because Monica is hell-bent on helping Wanda, because she kind of understands Wanda's in pain, so she's definitely doing that. And then we go back to the show. Pietro and Wanda are taking the kids out trick-or-treat, and there's a whole bunch of kids everywhere. There's kids all over all over the place. Just a couple episodes ago, you seen Vision say, "Why are there no more kids? Why are there no kids here? Where are the kids?" And all of a sudden now you got an explosion of kids for this special Halloween episode. So while they're walking, Tommy and Billy are, plotting out where they're going to go to get candy, and they take off. and Pietro yells out, "Unleash hell, demon spawn." Once again, another representation of either Mephisto or the devil. I don't know which one it could be, because if you don't know, Wanda does create her two sons in the comic book, but it turns out to be essence from Mephisto. So Mephisto comes back and takes them back into his body, and they disappear. Don't know if that's going to happen here. Kevin Feige likes to keep it simple, very simple, so I don't know if he's going to do that, but they're certainly throwing Easter eggs around for that, so only time will tell. So Wanda asks Pietro while they're walking, she was like, "Hey, do you remember that one kid that used to have these weird bumps on his face?" And he goes, "You're testing me. I understand I don't look like I normally would look. I look so different." And she's like, "Yeah, why do you look different?" It's like, "Wanda, trust me, I'm here. I'm your brother. Don't worry." And he's like, "You don't need to test me." And he walks off. Like I said, while Pietro's going off with the kids, Wanda's standing there and she sees Herb. She goes up to Herb and she's like, "Hey Herb, how's it going?" He's like, "Good." She's like, "How's the neighborhood watch going?" He's like, "It's going good, a couple of things, but so far so good." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm glad Vision's out here." He's like, "Vision's not on up for neighborhood watch this day. He's not scheduled for this." She was like, "Really?" And then Herb does this thing where Wanda's like really perplexed of that he is not there, and he's like, "Is everything okay, Wanda? Do you need me to change something, Wanda?" And I'm like, wait a minute, why is he talking like that? This is him breaking character from before, like when Agnes broke character in the last episode. So that was really weird. So now I'm looking at Herb a different way. I mean, now I'm looking at Herb like, "My man's, you in on this? You doing something? Are you a secret villain in here? What's going on, Herb? I thought you was my boy." Herb was supposed to be on the end. He was supposed to be a victim, but he wasn't supposed to be doing stuff, so he might be doing stuff. Side note, I forgot, there was a Kick-Ass reference in it too, because if you don't know, the actor that plays Pietro in the X-Men universe actually was in Kick-Ass with the actor that played in the MCU universe as Quicksilver. I forgot they both were in the same movie. They were. And that first Kick-Ass movie was pretty good, so go check that out. That was that little Easter egg there. Really cool. Then we catch up with Vision, and he is, walking around the town kind of away from the family, and he's looking at, the people move around, and he notices that there's this lady that is trying to hang up decorations, but she's not hanging it up to anything. And she keep repeating the same motion over and over again. And then you look close, she has a tear coming out of her eye. But if you look past her, there's a dude behind her who keeps moving a pumpkin back and forth to the same spot. And he looked at it and was like, "That's weird." He's not really positive as what's going on with that, but he knows that's not supposed to be going on. That is not normal behavior. So that's really freaking him out. And then we get the commercial of this episode. It's claymation. They went animated with this one. Claymation is animation. So it is of a boy on this little island, and it's for Yo Magic yogurt. I don't know what this means, but this shark jumps out and gives this kid a Yo Magic yogurt cup. It's very like Daniken cup. If you know the Daniken thing with the kangaroo. I ate them a couple times. It was alright. They weren't all that good, but it's very reminiscent of this. But this is one of the darkest commercials because I guess the kid can't get the yogurt open, and time lapses, and he gets skinny and skinnier, fades into bones, like skinny and skinnier, fades into bones, and then dies. And it gets like, "Yo Magic, gotta eat it or gotta drink it," or something like that. Crazy. One of the darkest commercials of the episodes. It's wow. It was really dark. I didn't think they would do that. They showed it was a claymation kid, but they showed a kid die. I don't know what the significance is. it says Yo Magic, so I'm guessing it has to do something with magic, but we'll have to see. This one's gonna hopefully next couple episodes let us know why this one. Honestly, some of the commercials I am not 100% sure on. This is definitely one of them. But yeah, crazy commercial. So Wanda and Pietro are walking with the kids, and Wanda is kind of asking Pietro. She's still kind of grilling him, trying to figure out who he is. And she's like, "Why are you here?" She's like, he says, "I'm here to create havoc, move around, be the fun uncle, what you wanted me to do." And she's like, "Huh?" He's like, "Yeah, it's what you wanted me to do." It's weird. It's very sitcom-y, where he comes in, creates drama and stuff like that, and moves on. But he also says, "Look, all I can remember..." Oh no, she says, "Where's your accent?" He's like, "Where's yours?" She's like, "Everything's fuzzy. Look, all I remember is I got shot in the street, and then I heard you calling me, and I knew you needed me, so here I am." It's really weird. She seems like just amazed at here. Like it's clearly not something she did or realized she did. Subconsciously, did she do it? It's really weird the way she's talking to him. But then the kids come and are like, "Hey, Mom, they got big full-size chocolate bars down the road. Is it okay we get it?" And then Tommy just speeds off. Yes, Tommy has powers. Apparently, Tommy can move very fast. This is the powers he has in the comic book, so that makes sense. But I didn't know he was going to have powers this fast. Then again, these kids were born a day ago and they're already 10. So, whatever. So, Tommy's speeding around. Wanda stops him and was like, "Okay, fine, you got powers. You go fast or slow, just take your brother with you." And he's like, "Really?" And Billy's like, "Really?" So they're very sad. But Pietro's like, "Yeah, you're a chip off the old Maximoff block." So, but that's weird though, because we know from one of the movies, it's not Age of Ultron, but we've seen their powers in Age of Ultron, that they got their powers from the Mind Stone. So this is not genetic. But then again, they came from her, so technically, but could you pass powers down that you got from something else? That's a whole nother cup of noodles. Whatever. So then we go back to present day. We were following Monica, Jimmy Woo, and Dr. Darcy. I'm just calling it Darcy. They're kind of sneaking around the sword camp looking for information. They pull up. Darcy hacks Sword's computers, and she finds information on a Project Cataracts, which is weird. But she also finds that Hayward is tracking someone in the hex. So we're not 100% sure who he's tracking, I think. Okay, I forgot. It is Vision, because they're tracking a decayed vibranium signal. So they're tracking Vision. Why is Hayward tracking Vision? Very good question. Even Monica asks this. Monica gets a call from her guy that's supposed to help her get in the inside. Some people think it's Reed Richards. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's a character we haven't seen. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Very interesting. Could they introduce another character? They're already introducing so many characters right now. Well, they ain't introducing a lot, but they're introducing Monica. So that's one right there. They're reintroducing Darcy. That's another. But wonder who this character is going to be. Very interesting. And Monica's like, "All right, let's go." Darcy's like, "Hold on, wait. You can't go back in there. Hayward's got your blood works, and your molecules are changing from coming in and out of the hex." Monica's like, "Look, I've seen blood work before. I'm not worried about my molecules changing. Wanda needs my help. I'm going to go help her." Darcy's like, "Well, I'm going to stay here. There's another firewall from Hayward's computer. She's trying to break that." They're like, "All right, we'll tell you where we need to meet for you to come to us. No problem." So we go back into the sitcom, Vision's walking further closer to the boundary of the hex, and he's noticing people are just not moving now. People are just standing still. You assume it's Wanda's ability to control them only goes for so long of a range until they kind of just sit still. He ends up flying up in the air, gets closer to the edge of the hex, and he sees a car. He goes down, and it's oh, I forgot to tell you, Wanda told Tommy and Billy not to go next to Elm Street, I think it is. This car is sitting on Elm Street. Ellis Avenue. I think it's Ellis Avenue. I don't know if that's a significant name. Maybe somebody that wrote a comic book or helped create one of the characters in comics. They just drop these kind of Easter eggs all the time, so you gotta look for them. If you don't, you miss them. But he floats to this car, and in the car is Agnes, and she says she's lost. She's trying to get to this scary square for the whole festival. And he's like, "You're lost? How are you lost? Didn't you grow up in this town? How are you lost?" She's just like, "Oh, I'm lost." And he does a thing where he did with Ned, where he opened her, or Norm. Is it Ned? I think it's Ned. Norm? I forgot the character's name. He does a thing where he opens her mind, and she's like, "Oh my God, are you here to help me? You're an Avenger. Are you here to help us? Are you going to save us from Wanda?" He's like, "Yes, I'm here. What's an Avenger?" So Vision doesn't know what an Avenger is. She's like, "You're an Avenger." She's like, "Are you going to help us?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm here to help you, blah, blah, this." And then she goes, "Wait, am I dead?" He's like, "Why are you dead?" "Because you're dead." "Oh, I'm dead. We're all dead. We're going to die." And she's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "I'm trying to get outside of Westview to go get us help." She's like, "No one goes outside of Westview. Wanda doesn't even let us think about going outside of Westview." So right now I'm very confused. We never seen, so in this episode we seen two things we didn't see before. We've never seen anybody but Agnes ask Wanda, does she want them that go off script during the episode. Like when Herb went off script and was like, "Hey, you want me to change something? What's going on?" We've never seen that. Secondly, I didn't think Agnes was under mind control, or because when she went off script, she was free willing. It seems like she had free will, so that's totally different. That's something we haven't seen. We've only seen somebody have to be taken out of mind control when he did that with Norm. And then we realized that mind control was happening when Monica got pushed out of the hex. But I didn't think Agnes was being mind controlled, so that's crazy. But she starts ranting like, "I'm gonna die, we're gonna die, there's nowhere we're getting out. She's never let us go," and she cackles like a witch. If you don't know, Agnes, people are thinking is Agatha, who was a witch in the comic books, who is kind of helps Wanda and watches the kids somewhat in the comic book. So she's kind of a comic book character. So I'm still suspicious of her, and I'm suspicious of her and Herb. I'm not sure what's going on with Herb, but I'm watching you, Herb. But Vision puts her back under the spell, and he goes to the edge of the trying to get out of Westview. Then we go to Wanda and Pietro, and he's like, "Well, I'll be darned. This Westview is a pretty nice town. I think Mom and Dad would like this." And she's like, "Yeah, I think Mom and Dad will like this." And he's like, "So, where were you hiding the kids? Is it okay to bring them out for a special Halloween episodes?" Bam, hit it with the meta right there. I like that. He's like, "So are you having them lay in the bed?" Oh, he said cameo. I forgot he said cameo. He's like, "Did you have them lay in the bed until it was cameo time? There's no reason to traumatically hurt them. And I see how you kept families with families. You gave better people jobs and stuff." He's like, "How are you doing this?" Like, he comes right back to, "How are you doing this?" And she was like, you don't think this is wrong or anything?" He's like, "No, you're being very empathetic with this. You were always the more empathetic twin." And he's just impressed on her ability to do this, which is really, really interesting. He's like, you come a long way from making sparkly fingers and nightmares in people's heads. So I was like, he's dropping clues that he is Pietro, like he knows her. And this is like, I guess this is surface level stuff he kind of knows, but some of it, I'm still skeptical. And she's starting to kind of tell him, like, I don't know how it happened. It just happened. I didn't do anything. It kind of just happened. He kind of is grilling her. It's like, come on, really tell me. When he's doing that, Vision is literally breaking through the barrier, the hex barrier, and he's trying to get out to the world. Sword meets him at the wall, and they're watching him as he gets through. And as he gets through the barrier, his body starts ripping apart. Like, pieces of his body starts falling off. Darcy sees on the screen that he's next to the barrier. She goes out there, and she's watching too, and he's literally dying, it seems. Like, it seems like he can't survive outside the hex. Clearly, her power is keeping him alive within the hex. And it's, I forgot this. So when Wanda and Pietro were talking, and he was asking her how she did that, there was a moment where she looked away and looked back at him, and he was dead with holes in his body, like Vision was in that one episode. So I'm like, okay, how is that happening? Is that only happens when she loses control or loses, not concentrating and can't keep up the facade? But then again, I don't think she manifests Pietro, so I don't think she's using any power with him. Maybe she is, though. Oh, it's so confusing. But like we said, Vision outside the hex dying, and we see Billy gets his powers. Billy can hear his dad, and he runs to his mom. He's like, Mom, Dad's in trouble. I can hear him. He needs our help. And she's like, where is he? And Pietro goes, don't worry, sis. It's not like your dead husband can die again. And she blasts him. And she goes, Billy, I need you to focus. Where is your dad? And he's like, I don't know where he is, but he's around soldiers. And her hands glow, and she freezes everybody. And then her eyes glow, and all of a sudden this burst of red bursts out of her. And she starts moving the hex boundary further out. It is incredible. SHIELD agents are scrambling, trying to get away. Monica and Jimmy see it. They're trying to keep speeding away as the hex ball is expanding. She's clearly trying to get Vision back into the hex to protect him. And as she's expanding, she's getting SHIELD agents, their cars, and they're coming into the hex, and she's changing them. Oh, I forgot. Darcy got chained up to a car. One of the dude that was telling her in the beginning, like, just do your readings, he chained her to a car. He also got caught in the hex. He got pulled into the hex. So Darcy got pulled into the hex. He got pulled into the hex. A lot of SHIELD agents got pulled into the hex. But when they got pulled in, their stuff's turning into circus. Like, there was this helicopter that got pulled in, and it turned into like it's not a blimp, but it's a balloon with the basket. I forget what they're called. But everything was like circus like in there. Haywood apparently made it out and did get pulled in. And Vision got pulled back into the hex. You see his body kind of restored, and he's all good. And that's the end of the episode. Wow. It's a crazy episode. Crazy. Yeah. Let me know if you're watching it. Let me know if you're still liking it. It's getting good. I am going to say they keep sprinkling information, but it doesn't seem consistent in the universe. I'm going to be 100% with you. Like, it's a mystery, but some of the stuff they say don't make sense. But maybe it'll pull it together and be like, okay, cool. But we'll have to see. But yeah, that's my review of episode 6, all new Halloween Spooktacular. All right, hit the like button, share, tell everybody you know about it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for taking the time. And go check out some more videos or listen to the podcast. And I'll see you guys in the next one.